Well, hey everybody, good morning. Today I'm going to kind of go over some of the things that I've done to this guitar since the last video. This is the third video I've done with this guitar. It's had some pretty substantial upgrades, and I kind of went off track with what I was originally planning to do to it. I won't say I got carried away because it wasn't I didn't spend a lot to get it here, but I did do some things that I wasn't planning to do. I was planning to put a set of humbuckers in that were hand wound that I bought from a friend of mine. But I've been playing my other guitars with P90s, and I thought, it'd be fun to put some P90s in. I've got the electronics cavity open so I can show you that. The thing was polished up, but in a nutshell, what I did was I put in these humbucker-sized P90s, which are covered. It had the uncovered humbuckers in it before that were awful. They were just so muddy sounding. I took all the hardware completely off the guitar and removed all the corrosion and polished it. I put a 61 style half pickguard on. I replaced the knobs, the output jack, the three-way switch. The knobs, if you can see them, they're little tiny amplifier knobs, but I had short shaft, solid shaft brass pots that I put in, and you have to have a set screw on those. It's not like the knurled pots where you just slide the knob on, and I like using those because I like to line my knobs up with some marker to tell me where I am so I know where my volume and tone are. So I just got these. I thought they were too small initially, and now that they're on there and I've used them, I really like them. And they've just got a line where the mark is. You can see the switch is black with a black ring. I thought that kind of looked nice with the black pickguard and the black knobs. But like I said, I took all the hardware off. I dipped it in baking soda and vinegar until the rust and corrosion came off, and then took it out to my shop with a little brass wire brush and polished everything up. The tuners were so bad on this thing that even a modest upgrade using the same type of tuner but just spending a little bit more, I think they were like 15 bucks, it's made a world of difference. The neck, this guitar is really interesting because I've never had a guitar that I got that was so heavily used but doesn't have fret wear, and the body wasn't all scratched up. About the only thing that was scratched was the cover plate for the electronics, and that's pretty easy to repair because it's plastic and it's replaceable if I can't get the scratches out. But for as much as this guitar was obviously played, somebody must have really loved it to take good care of it like they did. So with the internals, you can see that I've got new CTS pots with orange drop capacitor, the new switch, a new Switchcraft number 11 mono output jack, cloth pushback wiring. The cavity is painted with conductive paint. So it's got all the right things going. It's grounded, the bridge is grounded to the ground in the controls and the cavity. So it has very little hum. And these P90s, even though P90s are like, they are single coil, and so they will hum a little bit more. With the grounding that's been done, everything sounds pretty good. So I rarely talk about the specifications of a guitar, even though I document everything on every single guitar I own. And the reason I do is if I find something that I like that works, I like to be able to record what that is so that as I go through the process of getting another guitar, building a guitar, doing whatever I'm going to do, I know what I liked and what I specifically didn't like. So this guitar has pretty much now everything on it that I like. If I'm going to have a Gibson style guitar, I want the stop bar, tailpiece, and the adjustable saddles. I want the pickup rings. I like having a pick guard on. This one is pretty lightweight. It's 7.6 pounds, which it's kind of right in the middle between my other SGs. This is the heavier one of the ones that I have. I think it's 7.8 pounds. The other one I have is 6 something pounds. So this is right in the middle. It's a nice weight. One interesting thing about this, as I was working on it and got it in the sunlight, it is a transparent cherry red, like you would find on a Gibson SG, and there's no kerf joint. There's no. It's a one-piece neck, which is really interesting in this price point, especially considering it's a bolt-on. So that was interesting. It's and like I said before, it's solid mahogany body. It's slim taper C neck, scale length 24 3/4 inches, standard Gibson. It's got a one-way truss rod, which I have not had to adjust, but took the cover off and looked at it and made sure that it was in working order, and it is. But the neck was exactly where I wanted it, with just a tiny bit of relief. The fingerboard is actual rosewood, and because it was played so heavily, it actually stained it to a point where, after scrubbing it and polishing the frets and treating it with lemon oil, it's still stained, which is fine. I don't really care, especially for a guitar in this price range. There is one little ding in the neck, but it's not anything you can even feel with your fingers. I can just see it in the light. It's 22 frets, white dot inlays. So the pickups are humbucker sized P90s. They're Alnico 5. The neck reading is 6.3 K ohms, and the bridge is 6.9 K ohms. So not real rocker style, more along the lines of what I like, kind of a vintage tone. So the pots I upgraded. These were these are some speed knobs actually that I bought for it that didn't fit because I didn't realize they had knurled shafts, or they were for a knurled shaft. This is the horrible, the bag of the horrible tuners that I took out. I mean, these things were junk. And like I said, just a modest upgrade, and it's, a world of difference. This is the old electronics that I took out. Little alpha A and alpha B pots. The switch that was so badly corroded, I was able to get it to work by cleaning the connections, and then the output jack was so bad that when I took it off, I knew I would tear it up because the nut was rusted to the shaft so badly that I had to put a pair of pliers on this thing to get it off. But none of these controls were bad. Everything worked, and these alpha pots, I would probably keep them for another guitar. I figured since I was going to change the pickups, and that requires, wiring both pots, and I was uncomfortable with that switch, I might as well just put new pots and a new capacitor in, but there was really nothing wrong with those. So I upgraded to 500K audio taper pots. The knobs I upgraded, already told you about it. The capacitor was an Orange Drop 047 UF 400 volt capacitor. The pickup switch I was gonna get a Gibson or an Epiphone, but I found this Diatech on Amazon, and it, like I said, it had everything. It had the ring, it had the nut and washers, and it went in real nicely. Cloth pushback wiring, switchcraft number 11 switch, the 61 style 5-hole pickguard, bridge with adjustable saddles, stop bar tailpiece, and the tuning machine's upgraded. So that's pretty much everything. The 14-inch radius is nice. When I first got this guitar, I was looking at it, and I thought the neck might be convex. I thought it might actually have been dipped in. It was so flat, but I did check it at a couple of different fret intervals this morning, and it is 14-inch radius. So this thing just honestly came out spectacular, and I have a very small investment in it. Like I said, I had another bolt-on that I upgraded, and I put pro buckers in it, and they were nice, But I love these P90s. They're just sweet as can be. They're not expensive P90s, and I still now have the other set of humbuckers. This was the old set of humbuckers that came out of it, the standard cheap Epiphone ones that are awful. I have a buddy that builds cigar box guitars, and he's always looking for stuff to throw in those, and you're not going to win any contest with the sound that you're going to get from a cigar box guitar, so he's not as picky, and so I'll probably just give him those pickups. I've given him a bunch of sets of Squire single coils and other stuff, so that's probably where those will go. Those tuners are going in the garbage. I just wanted to save them for this video. They were just horrible. I wouldn't want somebody to have them and use them. And then, like I said, the rest of the electronics, it's a nice little set for another two switch, two wire, two humbucker setup, or two single volume, single tone humbucker setup. So that could be used later. I might give that wiring kit to him too, so you can scavenge the parts off it to make another cigar box guitar. But anyways, that was the video for the day. Just fun talking about this. I will do a sound sample on it. I want to put the back plate on and finish polishing it up. And I beat the heck out of these strings. It's rare for me to wear strings out very quickly. I have kind of a light touch, and I use 9 through 42 Fender 250 series bullet strings, and they just seem to hold up really well for me. I know I have well, the guy in the UK, John Robson, who has a guitar teaching YouTube channel. I correspond with him pretty regularly, and he said that his fingers have a tendency to oxidize these strings really badly. I've been lucky. My whole body oxidizes and ruins just about everything, but I haven't had that issue with these strings, and I had a real problem with Ernie Ball after using them from the time they opened up their guitar store in the 60s, when my dad took me over there when I was a kid to get my first set of new guitar strings, up until probably 5 years ago. That's all I ever used was Ernie Ball strings, and I had a couple of them unwind on me on brand new guitars, and I actually emailed the guy who runs Ernie Ball now. I don't know if it's his son or somebody, but he got back to me and goes, yeah, that happens. And it's like, well, it's not going to happen to me because I'm not going to use these strings anymore. You know? So anyways, that's it. Hope you all have a great day.